help you guys learn how to schedule your time a little bit better, we've made this podcast. We're proper going into detail.
Yeah, but the details cannot come until those priorities are first set. There's still a sacrifice to be made.
I think that's something that should actually be normalised. One of the best ways to make yourself stay consistent is to...
Otherwise, it can become time wasted. There's always a way of making it adaptable so long as it's important enough to you. How do you stick to time management when life gets in the way?
It's all about clarity. My advice to you is they are probably the three biggest takeaways from this podcast.
If you're looking to have a healthy lifestyle and a consistent gym routine, that's really key.
Alright, we're doing this. I'm going to do it quick.
We are back with another podcast.
And today we're going to be talking about time management. I'm sure many of you can relate. The gym is something that takes up so much of your time. I mean, at least for us anyways. And obviously there are so many other things in life that we have to spend time doing. So to help you guys learn how to schedule your time a little bit better, we've made this podcast. How do you keep such a solid gym routine whilst maintaining the demands of everyday life?
So I like to make a priorities list to separate what those are and therefore navigate where I'm placing my time better.
So would you write an actual list out?
Yeah, definitely. I like to write things down personally because it forces my attention to those things that are important. Because it may well be something that's important to me, but if it's not made a priority, then I'm far less likely to put my time and energy towards that thing.
Right, okay.
Then from those priorities, I separate things that are important to factor into that. For example, if it's work that's my priority, I have to factor in the time it takes me to get ready for work, to travel to work.
So we're proper going into detail.
Yeah, but the details cannot come until those priorities are first set.
Right.
And I think it's important to limit those priorities to maybe 3 or 4 things, especially if this is new, something that you're trying to establish in your life. Keep it simple, keep it consistent, and then start changing and adapting that when you've proven to yourself that you can be loyal to those priorities.
Yeah.
As much as priorities are great to have, there are still sacrifices that come with that. If, let's say, the priority is work and getting there on time and being dressed and ready, I'll pack my bag the night before and I'll lay out the clothes I'm going to wear. The sacrifice then comes in that I have to spend that hour before I go to bed doing that rather than something else.
Right, rather than sitting and watching Netflix.
Or I don't know, reading or calling up someone and having a chat.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be anything, but there's still a sacrifice to be made. I would then have to go to bed earlier in order to have enough sleep to perform well at work the next day. It's about weighing up where the sacrifices are outweighed by the positives that come from prioritizing.
Right. It's all about sacrifices and it's all about priorities. And I think that's really important what you said, touching on sacrifices, because I think that's something that should actually be normalised. I think a lot of people think that that's outrageous and they shouldn't have to sacrifice anything. But not just in a gym context, in any context, if there is something that you want, something is always going to have to give. And I think that is something that's really important. That's something that I was never really made aware of, not just in a gym context. Even in terms of starting a business, the sacrifice was uni. I mean, I dropped out of uni. Things like starting to become more of a morning person so I could get more things done in the day. It made me go to bed earlier, which is something that I would have never done. But yeah, I think everybody should consider making more sacrifices and not being so scared of them. It is a part of life and it will get you to where you want to be. I liked your idea of really zooming in to where things can be changed and moved around and focusing down on the time. That is, again, something really important, something a lot of people should incorporate into their lifestyles, something I should incorporate.
When you schedule things out or lay it out and you practice how long each task takes, then you discover where extra time is. So yeah, you can apply that more towards what's important to you.
One of the best ways to make yourself stay consistent is to make it convenient. And by that I mean make it as easy as possible. You want to really, you want it to work around you. You don't want to have to work around it. So, have a look at your lifestyle, have a look at when your energy peaks, have a look at when you have the most time and when it would be the least inconvenient time for you to go to the gym. Say you're somebody who's a morning person and you start work at 8 a.m. but you naturally wake up at 5:30. Spend an hour or two in the gym in the morning, done for the day. Likewise, if it's the other way around and you're an evening person and you usually have from 5 p.m. until bedtime free, go spend an hour or two in the gym and it will actually help you sleep better too. That's what I found. I mean, that's what I did. I'd be at school up until 3 and I'd then get into the routine of from school going straight to the gym because that way I can't go home and get comfortable and I just go straight to the gym and go home and it'd be done. It was convenient. I didn't really have to overthink about it and you're still doing what you want to do whilst not really having to go out of your way.
That's a really good point in that you want to maximize your time. You only have so many hours in the day, so you want to implement that as well as you possibly can. Otherwise, it can become time wasted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all trial and error as well. I've had different job roles and I have been in different institutions to study. I went to uni for 3 years. I've been at college. And within that, I've never failed to miss a beat when it comes to factoring in time for the gym. And what that looks like chops and changes as it naturally will, depending on what I've got going on at the time.
So it's really about adapting.
Yeah, exactly. So knowing how long I'm going to need at the gym, how I'm going to get there, and then fitting that around the things that I do, which are also priorities. So it might mean that I'm getting up early to go to the gym, and then straight from there I'll travel to college. So I'll pack for those things, or I'll go during my lunch break at work if I'm working from home, hybrid. It might mean that I finish work in the office in London and then I get the train and go straight to the gym. From there, I go home.
Yeah.
There's always a way of making it adaptable so long as it's important enough to you.
Yeah, that's so important. And it does really show that if you want to make time, you will make time where you see fit. And there really is no such thing as an excuse.
Yeah, there are always going to be things that make it easier, I suppose, but it's up to you to see where you can make it easy for yourself too.
Yeah, all about convenience.
Yeah. Leading on from that then, my question to you is, how do you stick to time management when life gets in the way?
That's such a broad phrase that is said so much. Oh, I started this, but life got in the way. Unfortunate events happen and things happen that do cause you to maybe steer a different way, and that's okay. However, I think getting back on track is really important. That is the main focus here. It is again about priorities. It's about what matters most to you and making time for that. A huge thing in that, what's really helped me, is making it as clear as I can. It's all about clarity. So what it is that you're planning to do, write it out to the brim. Write out every single detail, because the clearer you make it, the more likely to stick to it because you know what you're doing. It's very easy to make a brief, I'm going to get up and go to the gym tomorrow at 2. Yeah, okay, cool, you've put a time in there, but you have no idea what you're going to do at the gym. You have no idea how you're going to get to the gym. There's nothing in it. My advice to you is write a plan. I'm going to go to the gym at 2 p.m. tomorrow and I am going to do legs. Write out the exercises one by one if you need to. Anything that's going to really help you stay on track and actually go. That's just a piece of advice that has really helped me.
Well, within what you've just said there, you're removing the thinking element. So the time consumption of trying to work it out there and then in the moment.
Definitely. That's huge. That is huge. And that's so true. Yeah, it's then something you can just read and do.
And before you know it, it becomes routine.
Yeah.
Things that can help with that in a gym setting is having an app like the Strong app, or having an online coach. They lay out, this is what you're going to do today, you know, this is how much you should be eating towards if that's a target.
Yeah. Other than trying to provide as much clarity as you can, I think a huge thing as well is make it fun. Again, something me and Frankie say all the time is the best way to do something well and to stick to what you do is to enjoy what you do. So again, just make it as fun as you can. You just want to take that element of feeling like a chore out of it.
Yeah, you don't want it to feel like a chore. No. Absolutely. Otherwise, you will just repel yourself from wanting to do whatever that thing is.
Literally. And it's very subjective as to what you find fun. But, you know, making a great playlist or going with a friend, going with somebody, you know, that really helps. Especially when I don't want to go and she's like, we're going.
Yeah, it's really good fun making you go.
I'm glad. Buy a pretty outfit. Buy some nice gym clothes, you know. And then you'll actually want to wear the gym clothes and you're not going to want to waste the outfit in the house, so why not go to the gym? Even just little things like that, things that you don't think make a difference that really actually do.
Yeah.
So we've kind of touched on how it should be convenient, how it should be easy, and how it should be fun. I think they are probably the three biggest takeaways from this podcast. That will not only just help you go and stay consistent, but will help you want to make it a priority when it comes to scheduling your time. So be careful where you place your time. And listening to this is definitely worth it.
Thank you very much for listening. As always, we hope you've enjoyed this podcast and have taken what you can from it.
Really appreciate all the love and support you guys have been showing us. If you could follow, subscribe or like, it would mean the world to us and it will most definitely not be unnoticed.
And if you have any questions at all or anything to add to the topic that we've discussed today of time management, then let us know by sending us a DM or commenting down below. You have been listening to Gains and Gossip.